Well, my friends, it is that time of the day again. Time to talk about the Tesla news. And guys, I gotta say right now, lots of things are going on, okay? We've seen a lot of fluctuations, especially with, different EV brands starting to put things forward. We've got incentives on the way as well. Obviously, that's gonna start in about 2023, so it's still relatively distant. There's, of course, that question, hey, will this allow the competition to catch up to Tesla? I don't think so, but anyway, it's gonna level the playing field. Incentives are very interesting, and an update for the Model Y as well as others. Guys, welcome back. Hey, drop it a like right now if you're joining me for the first time. Drop it a like if you're joining me for the second, third, fourth, etc. time. That really helps out. It is so appreciated. Seriously, share with your friends, and let's go for 100 likes on this video. Anyway, also subscribe if you haven't yet. But guys, I gotta say right now, I want to ask all of you in the comment section below, what do you guys think is going to happen with incentives? Will it be advantageous for Tesla or disadvantageous? Okay, that's been a big topic of discussion. So with that being said, let's dive right in and let's talk about something that Elon Musk actually retweeted. Now, Model Y, I would say the most popular electric crossover hands down, right? It's not even a competition. This is well and above the competition. The Model Y, very, very popular. The Model Y has now received the highest safety score of any vehicle ever tested. Now, we're not saying any SUV, we're not saying any crossover, any vehicle ever tested, which is absolutely wild. Right now, again, Tesla has done such a good job with vehicle safety. It has always been a priority really since the beginning, and it's kind of funny, right, that some people look at Tesla and they say, oh, well, full self-driving, autopilot, that's unsafe. Again, we're talking about the safest vehicles ever made. Add in safety scores for full self-driving, and I think it's a winning combination. Anyway, guys, with that said, now moving on to a giant upgrade as well for supercharging. Now, this is something that Tesla has also tweeted about. The Tesla Twitter account also responded to Lawrence on Twitter, okay, talking about supercharging. Now, Lawrence brought up supercharging in the Plains region, okay, a very, very wide open region with seemingly not a whole lot around, but basically saying, hey, no range anxiety in my Tesla, makes the trip awesome. Superchargers and route planning have never failed me. Tesla responded and said, enter your destination and your Tesla will automatically include supercharger stops or supercharging stops in your route, okay? Something Tesla is always making improvements on. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Let's talk about the grid, okay? Let's talk about the grid, especially right now in California. And gonna be totally honest with you guys, this is something I've seen time and time again in so many areas, right? I'm not gonna point fingers and say, well, this is a California problem. I'm not gonna do that because it's something that right now, quite frankly, is really pretty inadequate everywhere. The grid system for electricity, and I believe Texas has its own grid. There are a handful of different grids, but anyway, it is woefully inadequate, okay? And here's the thing, it's kind of funny. People talk about the grid and they say, well, EVs are gonna cause issues, too much strain on the grid, right? Too much power being drawn. Well, here's the thing, EVs aren't the problem here. The grid is not strong enough, okay? So anyway, Homar's Catalog tweeted an article about this, okay, and said, California raises grid emergency as blackout threat grows. Now, how can you fix this? How can you fix this? Well, it's a matter of big batteries, okay? Something that Tesla is actually working on. And after Texas had their winter emergency, okay, with grid problems, we saw a number of these actually being installed. Now, these big batteries can take energy from the grid, common misconception, right? People think, oh, well, you've got to have solar, you don't, okay? These work as batteries. They siphon power off, they store it, and then guess what? When you've got a lot of extra power, they distribute it. When you've got a lot of extra power demand, I should say. Anyway, they distribute it around as needed. Okay, it makes a lot of sense. And when it comes down to it, something that really needs to improve more. So anyway, California raises grid emergency as blackout threat grows. Yeah, doesn't need to be an issue, right? And again, we're talking about one of the wealthiest states in the United States, okay? We need better, more robust grids. I don't care if it's virtual power plants. I don't care if it's battery packs on homes. I don't care if it's big battery systems. It is compatible with with the current grid, it's gotta happen. Anyway, Elon Musk responded to Holmar's catalog and said, and I quote, "More solar plus batteries needed. Batteries are great at dealing with peak demand." Yeah, they absolutely are, right? Because you need to avoid that sort of extreme power draw that results in big issues with power being totally unavailable, right? And that's something that really does have to happen. Anyway, guys, with that being said, now let's go ahead and let's move on to some other very, very significant updates here, okay? That I really think are noteworthy. Again, I try to cover the most noteworthy updates. I don't just want to talk about random stuff, right? But anyway, let's dive in on one now. We're seeing updates here from Drive Tesla Canada and other sources for this company, okay? It's apparently called Snow Lake Lithium. And Snow Lake Lithium apparently is going to mine enough lithium to produce batteries for 5 million electric vehicles. Info here also from Electric. Now, this is in Canada, okay? Their area, their site is 55,000 acres, okay? Now, guys, this is part of why having Canada as your neighbor is kind of a great thing, okay? Because Canada, not only are you Canadians awesome, I'm personally a big fan of Canada. I've actually visited Canada a handful of times. I'm a big fan. It's a really cool place. You guys are fantastic, seriously. I just want to say that right now. But anyway, yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, Canada has an abundance of natural resources, okay? And there is the first loud car for this recording. Don't know if you guys can hear that, but there it is. There it is again. Oh man, it's nonstop. The cars today have been so loud, I swear. Anyway, yeah, Snow Lake Lithium, 55,000 acres. You know, we talk about Tesla and we talk about demand. And so many people are quick to say, well, does Tesla have the materials to get the job done? Okay, yeah, here's the thing. There are a lot of companies in Canada, a lot of companies in the United States, a lot of companies even in Mexico, right? That want to work with Tesla to make this happen. They want to build EVs. They want to supply batteries because you know what? There's a lot of money to be made in battery production, okay? Or battery resource extraction. There is a good financial incentive for that, okay? So again, guys, let's talk now about an update also for Tesla in Canada. Again, this is for factories, okay? Raw resources, possible factories, what's not to love, right? Anyway, according to Electric and Reuters, a minister in Canada, okay, Francois Philippe Champagne, hope I said that right, Canada's Industry and Innovation Minister, confirmed that the government is in talks with Tesla about Tesla building a factory in the country. Now, according to Reuters, there's a quote here, okay, and I quote, "Yes, I'm talking to them," Champagne said in response to a question about reports of Tesla looking to build a factory in Canada. "I'm talking also to all the automakers around the world." So again, it's kind of funny, right? I mean, again, people kind of approach this and say, they say, hey, are you working with Tesla? Are you talking with Tesla? Well, yeah, but you know, I'm talking with everybody. Okay, well, you know, what's more interesting here? Tesla or the other companies, right? Let's talk about that. Yeah, and I think that, again, that is a really, really big deal, okay? Canada is gonna be a key part. And guys, gonna be honest, for all of you Canadians watching, you guys really do get overlooked way too much, okay? I think that Canada pulls more than its weight, especially in terms of production, mining, resources, industry, okay? You guys are really, really tenacious. I feel like a lot of people just look at Canadians and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, and they just kind of make jokes. No, Canadians are actually kind of fantastic at a lot of things. Again, I think it's so funny that they've been stereotyped as just like overly polite people. Yeah, Canadians, they kind of know how to get things done. Anyway, so huge shout out to all of you guys. You industrious Canadians out there, you know who you are. Let's move on, guys. Let's talk about Tesla, okay? And an update also for a giant supercharger plan. Now, according to Drive Tesla Canada, Tesla has acquired funding for 4 giant supercharger locations. Now, again, this is kind of fantastic. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. In my honest opinion, we don't need to see supercharging stations that have like 500 chargers in one spot. It's not really necessary, right? It's sort of like you don't typically see gas stations with like 2,000 gas pumps because it becomes a logistical nightmare, at least in the United States. I can't speak for other countries. You know, again, keep that in mind. There might be some somewhere, okay? But I do think it's very noteworthy right now that when it comes right down to it, you know, there's absolutely something to be said for more superchargers being constructed, okay? And it is a really good thing. I think that eventually we'll have more superchargers that have a handful of stalls, handful of pylons, right? I think that that's pretty, you know, unavoidable, okay? And I will say that right now. I think that, again, that is something that we really do have to think about. But let's move on, guys. Let's talk about Apple, okay? Apple had their most recent event. Obviously, interesting stuff, okay? And, you know, I think that a lot of people watching are probably Apple fans. I will say that in my honest opinion, I really like Apple products. I tend to use a mix of things, right? When it comes down to it. I'm not super picky. I'm a bit of an iPhone fan, okay? I will say I just like how everything is pretty streamlined and effective. I think Apple products tend to work pretty well. They work well over a long period of time. I will say, however, that there were some rumors circulating, right, with an Apple event that, hey, Apple Car could be on the way. Well, again, seems like so far we really have not seen that materializing, okay? Now, again, I think a lot of people would like to see that happen. You know, some people have said, well, I had to get a drink there for a second. Man, my voice is all tired out. Anyway, some people said, hey, you know, it's only a matter of time when Apple releases their car, Tesla's done, right? How many times have we heard that, right? When an Apple car gets out there, Tesla's not going to be able to do anything. Well, you know, okay. So far, we just haven't seen it happen. And I do think that is very, very, very noteworthy, okay? Insofar as I can tell, Tesla is still just not seeing competition from Apple in this area, okay? And again, ramping cars is a really tough thing. I think people have this perception of Apple as a juggernaut, right? And I gotta say, I think honestly, Apple is a juggernaut. Apple is a company that can get a lot of stuff done. You know, they're a behemoth, but ramping a car is a totally different animal, okay? That's not something that can be done casually. It's something that requires immense resources, a serious game plan, the right talent, the right management, the right worker. It's not easy, okay? I don't think Apple wants that right now. You know, the benefit from making that, I think would not be really, really good, okay? I don't think it would be worthwhile. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Gigafactory Shanghai, and again, my voice, man, Gigafactory Shanghai has now apparently started more intensive production, according to Teslarati. Wait times for the Model 3 and Model Y have been reduced again, which is amazing, okay? Fantastic stuff. That's exactly what we want to see right now, and I think that is super noteworthy. We're going to see that primarily, you know, happening for markets that are probably a lot closer to that area. North America market, again, I think this will take strain off of other markets, but the real full benefit has yet to be seen. Anyway, moving on, an update for the Twitter trial. A motion to delay the Twitter trial has been denied. So again, that is still going to be moving forward. I think that's noteworthy there as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to an update. Also, VW has approved a Porsche IPO plan. Is this going to really put them in a more advantageous position for electric vehicles? You know, again, I have my doubts. The Porsche Taycan, anybody remember that? Anybody? Anyway, just having a bit of fun. Yeah, the Taycan did happen. It's still out there, but you know, again, I feel like it was pretty heavily overshadowed by the Model S and Model S Plaid. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, I think we're gonna go ahead and kind of wrap things up here. Let's move on to an update for Tesla stock. Okay, let's take a look at this. What exactly did it do today? Tesla stock today up by 3.38%. Now, the price that it closed at for the day, $283.70. Low price, $272.27. High price, $283.84. Okay, so again, Tesla showing interesting movement here. Market cap just under 900 billion right now, 888 billion. Volume for today, just under what's average, 49.579 million, as compared to the normal, which is 51.717 million. So anyway, not really all that different there. And I think that's also noteworthy. So guys, with that being said, let me know what you guys think about all of this as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Drop it a like if you haven't yet. Subscribe, share with your friends. Have a great one, guys, and adios.